Hi, welcome back to my decorating series. This week we are going to do the second half of the Peaceful Meadow and continue with a marketplace. So, after my struggles last time, I decided that we're just going to accept the fact that we might need to reset our expectations, and by our I mean me, because I feel like I was putting a lot of pressure on myself to accomplish more than I had the capacity to do at the moment. And so I decided that if we're going to accept the fact that it might take more time, or that I might get stuck in ways that I wasn't expecting, or that I expected that I might but didn't really know how it was going to be in in reality, theoretical understanding is never the same, well, usually not the same as the reality of understanding. So I think I was being a little bit more gentle with myself when I started doing this half. And I don't know if that was what was helping me, or the fact that the marketplace felt it felt easier to me right off the bat. So I've decided that I'm not going to put all of the stalls together in the Peaceful Meadow to start with. I want to give them space to feel a little bit more fun, a little bit more decorated, and a little bit less just functional. Part of my goal is to retain the functionality for my gameplay so that I am not frustrated when I am playing the game. But, I want it to look cute. So I took the stalls down from where I had stashed all the buildings and stuff in the Forgotten Lands, because I figured the Forgotten Lands might be the last biome I tackle. I don't know that for sure because we're not that far yet, but that was my suspicion, and the reason I moved all of the shops, all of the stalls, all of the fruiting trees, all of my stuff up there. So I pulled down things that I thought felt like they might go with the garden, go with the orchard, and go with gardening kind of ideas in general. And then the only other stall, oh no, I'm sorry, I had two other stalls. I have Kristoff's stall, and I actually had considered putting that in, spoiler alert, for the next area that we're going to get to, the rest of the marketplace that will be located on Dazzle Beach, because I was trying to think of things that might get shipped from other places, and things that might have to travel, just either by boat or something like that. Moana's fishing boat, perfect example of something that I feel is very appropriate to be at the beach. I'm also planning on putting Mulan's tea cart down there, because it feels like you would get tea leaves from other places, not just this farm, this garden. But Kristoff's stall was kind of somewhere in the middle, because it felt like you could have materials brought in from other places, but he also might just spend time in the biomes around the valley, and technically that's what shows up on his cart. So I felt like his cart was okay to include here, but I did think about that one. And then I did pull out some additional carts from the decorating the furniture options that aren't actually stalls to shop, because like I said, I wanted to decorate more. So now that I have pulled out groups of carts and some decor objects that will go together, I sectioned off Goofy's stall and Tiana's cart, Tiana's like little food cart, Wally's garden, Beast's flower stall, and Kristoff's stall. And now what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to figure out what spacing makes sense for all of these different kinds of carts, because I didn't really have as much stuff for Kristoff. I didn't really have a ton that I wanted to add to Tiana apart from a little seating area. And so I decided, okay, these are the bigger chunks. The bigger chunks needed to go to the farming section, because Wally's garden and Goofy's stall, and then I think it's a Judy Hop's family stall. They took up a lot of space. So I gave them the bigger chunks of this half of the Peaceful Meadow. I also went ahead and put down the Peaceful Meadows critter home, the large one that you get for doing the Grand Emporium stuff. We actually recently got it course, depending on when you watch this video, it may be years from now. But I went ahead and put that here because I also kind of wanted to give the peaceful meadow somewhat of a park feel. So I've included things like the little play pad thing. It came from the premium shop. It is not a companion. It doesn't function like a companion home, which I kind of wish it would. But it's a little play area. It's got little fountains, and obviously it looks like it's like a play park for pets. And then I thought the critter home that we got from Olaf's Emporium felt very much like, wouldn't there be some nature spots for the critters to live in, like their little home, but then, you know, you could maybe picnic near it and catch glimpses of bunnies or whatever. So now that I've kind of got all of the different areas blocked out, I had to take a break. I have some major stuff happening in my real life at this moment in time, so just have to deal with the fact that I can't do everything I want to do for fun all at once. Sometimes I have to spread it out. And when I came back, I picked up right where I left off. I decided that I wanted to include these outhouses. I don't know if I'll have outhouses in all of my big outdoor spaces, but I thought if I went to kind of a big open market, you'd want to spend time there. You'd probably eat something there. You might sit in the park for a while, and you definitely need some facilities. And so I decided to go ahead and include those, make that a little, I don't know, spot. I used the hedges to make it feel more discreet, I guess. But I originally was going to put it right next to the food cart because I was like, oh, you might need to use the bathroom, you know, about the time that you're eating or after you're eating. And then I was like, do I really want this facing the little seating area? So I decided to move it. And because I moved it, I wanted to bump out this little path. And I think that's something that I'm really going to enjoy because I tend to be a straight lines. Like I tend to be make a grid, make a box, make things go from point A to point B as efficiently as possible. And I think doing things like making the choice to move the outhouse, something like that, and then having to move the path to accommodate that change adds more interest to the space. Like it's a more interesting path now because it goes around instead of just straight across. So that is something to keep in mind, is that just because you put something down doesn't mean you can't change it, and doesn't mean that that change won't be like, oh, that made that space feel a little different or a little better or a little bit less like I just made rectangles and squares. So now that I have gotten everything really situated, the really big pieces that I want to include, this flower stand was kind of a pain in the butt to mess around with. It's very, very cute, and I don't regret having it here, but getting the flowers on the little stand, like on the table part, was obnoxious. So I'm glad I'm only doing it this one time because I was getting kind of frustrated having to move the piece and go from behind and then go from the front. And anyway, it worked out, but it was frustrating. So I'm trying to kind of tackle each little area and then adjust the path, the little gravel path, to accommodate the changes. So I started in Beast's flower area. I included some of the beehives that we had previously. We just recently got the Honeyglow Woods pack, and there are new beehives there, but I didn't want I wanted to use these here, and although I have plans to make an apiary in the future with all the bee shenanigans we now have, I wanted to include just a few beehives because I thought it was fitting for the flower stands. And so now I've actually kind of flipped to the other side. We've already done Tiana's area, we've done the bathroom area, we've done the flower stand area, and then I had this little corner and I wasn't quite sure what I was going to do with it. And I decided, oh, I've got balloons, I've got popcorn buckets. Maybe we should make like a little thing like that. Just like a little, I mean, it doesn't have to be something where you can actually buy something. It doesn't have to be a functioning stand. It can just imply that it's a stand, and that would be fun, you know, if you have kids there, or maybe you are a kid at heart and enjoy balloons and popcorn buckets. But I was like, oh, this would be totally fun to have at a little outdoor marketplace. So I pulled a bunch of stuff out like I like to do, and then started manipulating things around to see what would fit, to see how it looked together, to see how it fit the space, and decided a nice big table to have all of the different popcorn buckets out and a bunch of the Mickey ones, and then also the balloons. I just thought it was very appropriate to get like balloons and popcorn while walking through this little marketplace. And I fussed with this for a little bit because I was so excited that I figured out something to do that wasn't as obvious. Like, I don't know. I just kind of ran with that idea for a minute because it felt inspiring to have figured something out that I got excited about in the moment. So now I'm finishing up Kristoff's area, and I wanted to add some materials that it looked like he could have brought or, you know, have backstock of. I also thought about adding some crafted wooden items, and I do look for quite a bit for that kind of stuff, but in the end, I don't end up adding crafted items because although Kristoff, I'm sure, is a very crafty person, he doesn't sell that stuff here. He sells materials here. So I end up buying some stuff straight off the cart just so I don't have to wander too far to get it, and put it on the little display areas on the table on this other little cart that I had, and decide I need at least one more thing. The sticks actually took up more space than I thought they might. Oh, this is me trying to figure out how to get a companion to be near this park thing, and I have to think about it for a minute, so I had to walk away and get back to it later. But I decided instead of the pile of sticks, I would put the bow staff bucket there because I was like, oh, those look like sticks. Maybe those are the sticks. And a little iron ore. And I just thought that with the anvil, the workbench, I did maintain a grill out here and a workbench because although they are not as practical being right next to each other and looking very plain, I did want to have those out in the world somewhere, so I had to find a place where they looked right. Oh, and then I had forgotten to add chests, another practical touch, and so I put one in the plaza where I had missed, and then also in the Peaceful Meadow area on this side. Oh, and companion stuff. All right, well, let's go over there and check it out. So I will admit that last week was quite the struggle for me. I think I just got way in my head about it and obsessing over how to make something functional look cute. And so this week was kind of a relief. I really had a good time figuring out, look how cute the little dog looks there. You can put the companion objects on the little play park thing and they will wander around on it. So it's not quite the same because you have to have that house there, but pro tip, if you're trying to do something like that, there might even be better ways to do it. But I really liked picking out which stalls were going to be in this area. I liked figuring out things that would go with them. I really just enjoyed the process, and then filling in the gaps of the empty spaces, a little picnic area right near Wally's garden and the companion home, Kristoff's area with all of its materials and an anvil just looking very functional, which I like. And then getting to use some of these really big pieces that I have acquired over time, a little popcorn balloon moment, just very cute little marketplace. And then Tiana's space. I really was glad to use some of those elements. Her little water tower there. I guess it's not really little, it's a big water tower. But I really enjoyed the fact that I enjoyed this side. And so it really makes me feel better because after last week I was like, oh no, are we going to burn out and just give up the ghost and just say screw it? But this was inspiring again. And although there are still things to be done in this space, I need to go back and do trees and lighting and finishing touches. But I think just accepting the fact that I just need to break it down into smaller bits and tackle those bits, that it's not going to get overwhelming to the point where I don't want to complete it. And so I'm excited to finish up the Peaceful Meadow next week and move on after that. That's it for today's decorating adventure. If you liked this video, a thumbs up is a great way to let me know, and a subscription will keep you up to date on my latest shenanigans. If you want to hang out with me live, I stream on YouTube and Twitch on Thursday evenings and middays on Sunday. I hope you have a lovely day, night, time, wherever you are, whenever you are. And I'll see you next time.